Hey friends, before we dive into this episode, I wanted to let you know that I created a fall focus guide for you. If you were a part of my Summer Ready Success workshop that I did back in the spring, we talked through some things to help you to get focused, to make your plans, to schedule, to keep burnout at bay. And so I created a fall version of this guide. And so if you missed it, now is your opportunity to grab your fall edition of it. And so you can go to martinewilliams.com/fall guide. We'll put the link in the show notes for you. But inside, it has my Triple C Belief Breakthrough worksheet. I have a SMART Goals worksheet. I have a Power Hour worksheet. I have a fall schedule for you to use for calendar blocking. There's my Breakthrough Burnout worksheet, an opportunity to put your ideas around things you're going to do to grow. And then also my mantras that motivate. So it's everything you need for your focus for fall. So go to martinewilliams.com/fall guide and let's dive into this episode. The next 2 Thursday episodes, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that are in this guide. And so I just wanted to give you a companion to go along with that. So I hope you're ready. Let's dive in. Welcome to the Mompreneur Life Remixed podcast, where you will learn how to remix your mompreneur life so that you can win at work without losing yourself in the process. Hi, my name is Martine Williams, and I am your host and CEO, your Chief Encouragement Officer. And this podcast is your one-stop shop to creating a burnout-proof life and business and elevating your clarity, confidence, and courage. Friends, it's time to say goodbye to being the yes girl and hello to creating healthy boundaries, healthy mindsets, and healthy habits. Your next breakthrough starts here. This is the Mompreneur Life Remixed podcast. Let's do this. Well, hey friends, listen, the time to be planning for your future, for what this fall season is going to look like for you is now. Alan Lakin says, planning is bringing the future into the present so that you can do something about it now. I don't want you to get to the end of this year and look back and say, I wish I had done more of this. I wish I had done less of this. I wish I had spent more time with this person, maybe less time with that person. So planning and visualizing and creating your plan now is how you can impact it, by planning it right now. And so that's what I want to share with you. So earlier this spring, I did a workshop called Summer Ready Success. Some of you might have attended that. And as I've been thinking about the next couple episodes, because guess what? You get me for the rest of this month and probably into October as well. So you're going to be hearing a lot from me, and I'm excited to be talking to you more frequently. I hope you're enjoying the Remix Moments with Martine on Mondays. But when I'm thinking about what you need right now and some things to kind of help you, I wanted to talk through what the 5 C's are. First, it was for Summer Ready Success, but honestly, you could take these 5 C's into each season. And so I'm going to revisit this with you over the next couple episodes, and I am excited. I hope that you are ready to dive right in. So let's do this. Okay, so 5 C's to help you to bring the future into the present. And I want you to write these down, and I want you to think about them, and I want you to think about which one or 2 are the most important for me right now. The first one that I want to talk to you about is, and here's the 5 C's. I'm going to go ahead and give them all 5 to you. And then again, we won't cover them all today. But the first one is choose your mindset. That's your first C. The second C is create your plan. The third C is consistently show up. The fourth C is celebrate your wins. And the fifth C is connect. So we're going to talk through those 5 C's and help you get ready for this next season. So the first one is choose your mindset. And y'all should know me by now. We're going to talk about mindset. It doesn't matter if it's a remix moment, if it's one quote that I share, or a longer episode. We're going to be talking about mindset because mindset is where the behaviors are born. So regardless of where you are right now on your mompreneur journey, where you are is just where you are. It's not who you are. And if you're not where you want to be, don't let that define who you are. It's just where you are right now. And you can choose to change it. So the number one thing to achieve success this coming season is your belief that it's possible. When you believe it, you will see it, and then you will do it. You have to believe it's possible for you, for the rest of those other 5 C's to be effective. So maybe that's the real work for you to do. Like, stop and check your beliefs and take radical responsibility for where you are and where you want to go. Well, I want to challenge you or offer to you to not blame your circumstances, blame your company. If you work for a specific company, blame the season of life that you're in. I want you to take radical responsibility for where you are, not shame it or beat yourself up about it, but just take responsibility for it and where you want to go next. Because you are the only person you can control. Your thoughts are the only thoughts you can control. You can't control other people. You can't control other people's thoughts. You can't control some of the circumstances that maybe you're in, but you can control how you respond to it. And maybe you've heard me say this before, but being stuck is a mindset, not a position. So what are you already choosing to believe about this upcoming season for you as a mompreneur? What are you already telling yourself? Are you saying you're stuck? Are you saying I'm busy? Are you saying I'm too busy? Are you saying this will never happen for me? Oh, this will never work for me. Or you fill in the blank. And here's what I want you to believe. You are just one idea implemented away from being unstuck. But if you keep telling yourself that you're stuck, or this is too hard, or no one will want to buy from me, or no one will want to show up for this training, or I'll never, those are the results that you will choose to get. Maybe you're saying, you know what? I'm just going to coast through this season. Then you're going to get results of someone who's coasting. Maybe you're allowing all or nothing thinking to dictate your behaviors and your goals, where you get really excited and you're all in, and then something doesn't work, and then you go into nothing. And so if you can't do all of it all of the time, you're going to do none of it none of the time. I want you to start catching that. It's so, so common. Will you be ready to serve and grow, or will your mindset hinder you? So Henry Ford says, whether we think we can or we think we can't, we are right. And in every opportunity, there is an obstacle. And in every obstacle, there's an opportunity. It's not the first time you've heard me say that. But I want you to think about, what are you choosing to see? Are you seeing the obstacle or the opportunity? Are you seeing the possibilities or are you seeing the problem? So how do we choose the right mindset? You might be thinking, this is great. I get it. But how do I choose the right mindset? And the first one is my Triple C Belief Breakthrough Method. I've talked about it a number of times here on the podcast, so I won't go into major detail here. But for those of you, some of you, this is the first time you've listened to me on the podcast. So I do want to share with you what it is, because it does create breakthroughs. It all starts in the mindset. And it's this skill set, this method of learning to catch it, check it, and change it. Catch it. Catch the thought. What is the thought that your brain is offering up? Check it. Is it true? Is it just a thought error that I have? And then change it to produce a different result. I might do a whole podcast just on that to help you and give you some examples of that. But for now, just be mindful. Catch your thoughts. You don't have to believe everything your brain tells you. So check it and then change it if you need to. The second one for me is prayer and devotional time. Like, that's what keeps my mind on the right things and moving in the right direction. Maybe it's meditation for you. Maybe it's journaling for you. But some way to quiet my mind and to write out my thoughts that also helps with the catch it, check it, change it. Maybe it's listening to podcasts and reading. Earners are learners and leaders are readers. So maybe there's a podcast. Maybe it's this podcast. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's another podcast, but it's free content. Some of my best mentors and coaches have come in from listening to podcasts, and I still listen to a podcast weekly, sometimes daily. Maybe for you, you like to read instead. Either way, what are you putting into your mindset? Are you just watching the news? Are you just scrolling through Facebook and letting other people's opinions become your thoughts? Write out your own affirmations. Write out your own thoughts. Check them and create some productive thoughts when that negativity tries to show up. Surround yourself with big thinkers and positive people. Sit with the winners instead of the whiners. The conversation is different. Trust me. So this came up on a coaching call the other day, and this client made a choice. So she came to a live event that I was the keynote at. And she realized when she left there that she was no longer going to surround herself with this group of people who literally had a problem for every solution, who was always complaining, always down and out and blaming and all the things. And she didn't realize until she got out of that group and started surrounding herself with some new people or some more positive people, the impact it was having on her. So this is super important. And I know it's kind of like our environment when I talk about your spaces and places that you spend most of your time in. And if they're cluttered, it really kind of can cause a lot of stress that you don't even realize. This is true for you as well. When you think of your environment, of who's in your circle, you get to choose that. And you get to choose to sit with the winners instead of the whiners. So that is choose your mindset. Hey friend, can I give you permission today? Like for real, your own permission slip. Permission to get clear, to cut out the noise. Mostly the noise that is going on around in your own mind, in your own head. It's just swirling. And you're asking yourself questions like, why am I stuck? Why am I frustrated? Why am I not making progress on my goals? I want to invite you to a free clarity call with me where we're going to dive in and we're going to identify what are the 3 main issues that are keeping you stuck. Number 2, what are the mindsets around those issues that are actually keeping you from solving for those issues? It's not our skill sets, it's our mindsets that keep us stuck and hold us back. And then number 3, identifying what are your next steps. We all have a next step, and we have 100% responsibility for those next steps. Your only next step right now is to go to the show notes and book your free clarity call so that we can work through this. I'm believing in you, and I cannot wait to see you on our clarity call. The second C is create your plan. We will never find time for what matters most. We must create time for what matters most. If you have a mindset of, we'll wait and see, I'll just kind of wait and see what happens, that is a backdoor out to not achieving your goals. That's your brain trying to find safety and you settling, basically. Like I don't need a plan, or, if I set a plan, I set a goal, then that means I might not meet that goal and that's going to feel bad. And that's where you have to push through and create the plan and go in with that curiosity energy that I talked about earlier this week, I think, in that episode. You create your plan. Your plan's not perfect. Your actions you take are not going to be perfect. You're going to be curious, but you need some type of structure. So we must slow down to speed up. And if you take the time right now to create the why, the what, the who, the when, and the how, you will see your business and your life thrive while everyone else is either in survival mode and trying to just make it through the season, or they're going to be coasting. And neither one of those are going to produce the results that I know so many of you want. So remember, things in motion tend to stay in motion. So just keep moving, even if it's uncomfortable, even if you're not sure if it's going to work, even if you fail. Because failure is not a characteristic flaw of you. It's an event that happens. And so you're learning as you move. So let's talk about the why. I'm not going to go into big detail here because this is something that's come up a lot on our episodes, but y'all know the power of your why. And if this is your first time listening and you've lost sight of what your why is for your business goals, your why for your personal goals, it's time to rev up those dreams. It's time to rev up that why. This is a step, just like mindset, that I don't want you to skip. You have to have that compelling reason to create success, or you won't sustain it when things get hard and when things get tough, when someone says no to your opportunity or someone says no when you're offering your services. Like, you won't keep going. It'll be too easy for you to stop because you've lost sight of what the real reason is. So I have a guide that I created. It's called Rev Up Your Dreams. You can go to martiawilliams.com/guide, and that will help you work through this process. But you got to know what this is. Don't skip it. The second is, what are your non-negotiables in this season? When you think about your workouts, your family time, date nights, your business hours, what are going to be some of those non-negotiables? What are going to be some of those productive priorities? They're going to give you the best return on your time invested. Listen, there's lots of ways for us to get busy as mompreneurs. We don't want to be busy. You want to be in the business. You want to be in the business of creating memories and relationships with your family. You want to be in the business of creating impact that God created you to make through your businesses. And we won't find the time for that. You have to create it and you have to protect it and you have to put boundaries around it. You don't want to be just busy. Busy is a disease. And the way to cure that disease is to have a plan and to know what your big rocks are for maximum productivity. So who will be involved? Who needs to support you right now? Who can help? Maybe with the kids. Maybe this is the season where you really ramp up your business. I remember that. The fall was like the time to get it. And so there were people that I called in to help with my kids. So I could be on phone calls. I could be out networking and creating opportunities for my customers and my clients. So who can help you? Maybe it's a mommy's helper. Maybe it's just communicating to your spouse that, hey, I need a little extra help right this second or the next couple of months. Who do you know that can connect you with your new customers? I was listening to a training the other day about marketing and she was just saying, like, do your family members and your friends, does everyone know what you do, what you have to offer, and how you can help people? That's such a really great question to ask. Not that your family and your friends may be your customer, because sometimes they're not, but they might know somebody. And they might be in a conversation with somebody. If they don't know what you do and what you have to offer and how you can help people, then you're not going to come to mind for them. So who can help connect you? Are you a member of your Chamber of Commerce? Does your community know what you do? Maybe you can get your family involved and outsource some things to free up your time, like your kids in the home. There's things that they could be doing to help support you as you work towards your goals to end the year strong. So what are some ways and who are the people that need to help you? And then when will you do these things? This is where we take the plan and you get your beautiful planner. I know some of you have color coordinated pins and stickers and all of those things, and you make your plan really, really pretty, but then you're not implementing. So this is where you have to put the action in. Maybe it's calendar blocking for you. Maybe it's creating, time for personal development. Maybe it's creating a schedule of categories. So for me, Mondays is kind of my CEO day. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, I'm either producing my podcast or I am coaching my clients. And then Fridays is just kind of a follow-up. What did I not get finished that I want to follow up on? Or it's just an easier day for me. So knowing when is the best time for you is something that I work with my clients on through my one-on-one coaching and the Pro Scan. But just be thinking about, when are you going to do these things? When are you going to put them in? When are you going to set the time to do it? And then the how. How are you going to create your plan? And I know y'all have heard SMART goals before, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but it really is that simple. And I want you to be thinking about, how simple can I make it? How simple can I make my plan? How simple can I make my goals? But they do work if you work them. When you're setting them, I want you to think about the 3 most important activities to make your business grow. Not 10 different things, the 3 most important activities to help your business to grow. And I already kind of talked about them earlier, and this is something my coach has really worked with me on, is getting in front of the new people. So how are you going to get in front of new people? Virtually, in person, tell them what you do and make an offer to help them. People buy solutions, and you have a solution to someone's problem, or you wouldn't have a business. You wouldn't be an entrepreneur. So these 3 things are the most important to creating growth in your business: attracting your new clients and increasing your profitability. So how will you get in front of new people? This is another really great thing about the Pro Scan, is understanding what your strengths are in this department so that it can align and it doesn't feel as draining to you, because you're working from your strengths and you're getting in front of new people in the way that feels I want to say comfortable because it still may feel uncomfortable, but in a way that feels more in alignment with who you are and how you want to show up in your business. For some of you, that might be social media, while others of you, it may be more face-to-face. I like to be face-to-face, eyeball to eyeball with people. Most of you know I haven't been on social media since March, and it's been the most incredible thing for me and for my brain to think of fun ways to engage with my clients and with you, my potential clients and my podcast listeners. And so both work, but plan now how you will do these 3 things. So some ideas are like networking events. This is a season. Like I literally just was I'm in my local Facebook group. It's like, like my community group. And someone posted about a networking event that meets every Wednesday. It's right down the street from me. And so I'm going to be going to this networking event and getting in front of new people. And even just talking with the guy who's in charge of it, like he's connected me with, his wife and some of the things that she's doing for moms. It's really fun to meet new people and find out what they're doing and support them in their businesses and then get the support for your business too. Some other ideas would be host your own events, attend local community events, festivals. This is the time of year where there's lots of festivals, y'all. How can you either be a vendor there promoting your business, or how can you just be an attendee and work the room? Sometimes that's what I do instead. Maybe you can offer to speak at some local organizations that you're passionate about. That's getting in front of new people. Maybe you can volunteer. Maybe you can engage in relevant Facebook communities. Referrals from current customers. Happy customers are happy to make referrals, but sometimes they just need to be reminded and asked to do that. Maybe for you, it's collaborating with other businesses and influencers in your niche, in your space to reach new audiences. So those are just some of the ways, not all of the ways, but just get your brain thinking, how can I do this? How are some ways that I can do those 3 things, get in front of new people, tell them what I do, and make offers to help them? And do you need some help? Like, do you need a social media plan? When you think about your house here, how can you remove distractions or lesser important things, like maybe giving up a TV show to work your business in the evenings, maybe giving up scrolling on social media? Like I said, I've been simplifying and taking away non-essentials in my life. And for right now, that's working really well for me. And I'm not saying I'm not going to go back on social media at some point, but for right now, it's really, really helped. So what are some things that maybe you just need to remove for a season to get focused? That you can focus on the how, you can focus on the who, the what, the when. Create set times to work and play, and the boundaries to protect both. You can be both an amazing mom and wife and an amazingly successful entrepreneur. So create times to set to work and play and have the boundaries to protect both. How will you hold yourself accountable to your goals and what you said you would do? Let your yes be yes and your no be no. So I'm going to pause there for this episode, and you'll have to come back next week or the week after, and maybe even the week after, to finish up this series with me. But I hope this gave you some things to think about, because again, now is the time to think about these 5 C's. Now is the time to create your plan. Now is the time for you to be proactive instead of being reactive at the end of the year, or in regret at the end of the year that you didn't do more of this or that you didn't do less of this. Now is the time for you to be thinking about, what do I want this season to look like? What are the things that I want to focus on? Who needs to help me? When am I going to do these things? So where am I going to put them in my schedule? How am I going to do these things? Because that is how you align it with who you are. And that's how you align it to get maximum results, is when you take the time to bring the future into the present by planning it out. All right. Well, I will catch you on the next episode, and I'm believing in you always. Well, that's a wrap, friends. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. I really hope it met you right where you are and gave you some encouragement for your day. could you do me the biggest favor and leave me a rating and review? Seriously, it's the best way for you to support the show. And while you're there, be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. Thanks again. And until next time, I am believing in you always.